You see, enlightenment isn't something you can find, purchase, or stumble upon like a lost set of keys. It's not hidden away in the Himalayas, guarded by monks who've mastered the art of cryptic smiles. Enlightenment is less of a search and more of a realization. Think of it as the sudden, startling awareness that you've been looking for your sunglasses while they've been perched atop your head the whole time. Enlightenment is like the sun. It's always there, shining brightly, even when the clouds of thoughts and emotions obscure it. The moment you clear those clouds, even just a little bit, the sun reveals itself in all its blazing glory. So, instead of embarking on yet another frantic search, why not consider that maybe, just maybe, the light you're seeking is already within you? If you can sense the light within you, write yes in the comments below. Have you ever wondered why we're always chasing something? We're all guilty of it. We pursue careers, relationships, possessions, and a myriad of other things, convinced that the next achievement, the next thing, will finally bring us peace, happiness, or perhaps something grander, like enlightenment. But what if the chase is just an elaborate ruse, a cosmic joke with us as the punchline? Is it really that simple? Now, you might be thinking, okay, so if enlightenment is like the sun, how do I clear those pesky clouds? Excellent question. But brace yourself for the answer. It's simple, but not easy. Enlightenment is so simple, in fact, that it's incredibly easy to miss. It's like one of those magic eye pictures where the hidden image only appears when you stop trying to see it. The more you strain your eyes, the more elusive it becomes. But when you relax, when you stop overthinking, suddenly bam, there it is. The same goes for enlightenment. It's not a complex algorithm that needs solving. It's a state of pure consciousness, a state of just being. There's no grand ceremony where someone bestows enlightenment upon you like a degree at graduation. Instead, it's about recognizing that you already are it. You always have been. Think of your inner world as a mirror reflecting everything around you. The moment you realize that you are not separate from the universe but are, in fact, the universe itself, something clicks. Enlightenment isn't about becoming something new. It's about waking up to what you've always been. Can laziness lead to enlightenment? Wait, did someone say laziness? Yes, you heard that right. You've been told your whole life that laziness is the root of all evil. But what if it's also the secret to enlightenment? This isn't about being a couch potato, though. There's a subtle art to this particular brand of laziness. Let me explain. You don't have to climb a mountain, renounce all your worldly possessions, or chant mantras for 12 hours a day to achieve enlightenment. In fact, nothing has to be done. Enlightenment isn't about doing, it's about being. It's your natural state, your default setting when you strip away all the distractions, fears, and desires. Think of it this way. Have you ever tried to fall asleep? The harder you try, the more awake you feel. But when you simply let go, sleep comes naturally. The same goes for enlightenment. It's not something you force, it's something you allow. You don't have to be a saint, meditate daily, or live a life free of mistakes. It doesn't matter whether you've spent years in spiritual practice or a lifetime making questionable decisions. Enlightenment doesn't discriminate. Is enlightenment the next evolutionary step? So, if enlightenment is our natural state, why does it seem so elusive? Is it just a fluke of human nature that we're so adept at missing the obvious? Or could it be that enlightenment is simply the next step in our evolution? Think about it. Humanity has evolved from primal survival to complex societies with art, science, and technology. But what's next? Perhaps the next evolutionary leap isn't about developing new tools or technologies, but about evolving our consciousness. It's about realizing that we are more than just individuals trapped in a cycle of desires and fears. We are, in essence, consciousness itself. This evolutionary step doesn't require us to grow wings or develop telepathy. Instead, it asks us to shed the layers of conditioning, the societal expectations, and the ego-driven desires that cloud our true nature. Being spiritual doesn't mean adopting a new set of rules or practices. It means being natural. If it comes naturally, do it. If it doesn't, don't. Simple as that. But here's where it gets tricky. The addiction to doing must fade. We live in a world obsessed with action, achievement, and constant movement. But enlightenment asks us to embrace stillness, to be comfortable with just being. It's a radical shift, like asking a fish to stop swimming and realize it's in water. But once you grasp it, everything changes. Why do we overcomplicate enlightenment? If enlightenment is so simple, why do we insist on making it so complicated? Humans have an uncanny ability to turn simplicity into a labyrinth of confusion. Perhaps it's because we're wired to believe that anything worth having must be difficult to obtain. But enlightenment isn't a reward for hard work. It's a realization waiting to happen the moment we stop trying so hard. Consider this. Have you ever noticed that the best ideas come to you in the shower? Or that moments of clarity often strike when you're doing something mundane, like washing dishes or walking the dog? That's because when you stop obsessing over the solution, it comes to you naturally. The same principle applies to enlightenment. It's so simple that it's easy to overlook, like the proverbial elephant in the room. We complicate it with rituals, practices, and philosophies, convinced that the more intricate the path, the more profound the result. But enlightenment doesn't care about your rituals or your philosophies. It's not something you achieve after ticking off a spiritual checklist. It's something you recognize when you let go of the need to achieve anything at all. So, how do we make enlightenment happen now? Now that we've explored what enlightenment isn't, let's get down to the crux of the matter. How do we make enlightenment happen now? The answer, my friends, lies in the paradox of trying not to try. It's about embracing the art of allowing, of stepping back and realizing that you don't need to do anything special to be enlightened. You already are. Start by noticing the thoughts and emotions that drift through your mind like clouds. Don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just observe them. See how they come and go, like waves on the shore. And then, in the space between thoughts, in the quiet moments when the mind stills, notice the presence that remains. That's where enlightenment lives. It's not in the grand gestures or the epic journeys. It's in the stillness, the silence, the space between breaths. Enlightenment is the simplest, most natural state of being. It's so close, so ever-present that we often miss it while looking for something more complex. Is enlightenment for everyone? Finally, let's address the question that might be lingering in your mind. Is enlightenment for everyone? The short answer is yes. The long answer is also yes, but with a caveat. It's not something you get in the traditional sense. Enlightenment is not a prize, a status, or a destination. It's simply the recognition of your true nature. Anyone can experience this recognition, regardless of their past, their beliefs, or their actions. It doesn't matter whether you're a seasoned meditator or someone who's never set foot in a yoga studio. Enlightenment is not reserved for the spiritual elite. It's available to everyone, because everyone already is it. But remember, enlightenment isn't about changing who you are. It's about seeing who you've always been. It's about dropping the illusions, the stories, and the labels that keep you from recognizing the light within. It's about realizing that you are, in essence, the sun, and all you need to do is clear the clouds. If you like the content here at Telos, please consider to share, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to stay connected and never miss out on my future videos. If you want to support the channel, buy me a coffee, link in the description, or send super thanks. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your support.